Hi, we're at NAB 2019. This is Cirina Catania with OWC RADiO, the new creative club. And I'm with John Tierney. He's got a great title. You are the founder of Digital Anarchy, the president. And I love your title of Chief Executive Anarchist.
Yep.
That's kind of
cool.
That's
who I am.
I mean, we're creative. We like anarchy, right?
Yes.
We
get anarchy whether we like it or not, especially at NAB. Always a lot of anarchy.
We're everybody's anarchists. Let's go back a little bit because I want people to know you as a person. How did you get started? Where were you raised, and how did you get started with technology?
I don't know. Where did I start? So I
want him to tell us all his secrets. Okay. Sorry.
Secrets are good.
Secrets are good.
I started off life as a graphic designer, and got hired on as a QA person at MetaTools, which you might remember with Kai's Power Tools and Bryce and some of that stuff, and started working on Final Effects way back in 1995, and which is the After Effects plugin set, and did that for a couple years. Worked on a couple other companies that did After Effects plugins, and then came up to San Francisco for the whole .com craziness, and then that imploded, and I started Digital Anarchy after that.
When did you start Digital Anarchy?
We started in 2001.
Oh my goodness, it's been that long.
So it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
I actually remember that. So talk to us about some of the products that you have developed over the years, and then we'll move into what's new. So what are some of your legacy software solutions?
Well, I mean, the first product we ever released was Text Anarchy, which was a particle system for generating text. That was kind of, it could do the matrix kind of text thing, but you can also do a lot of other like text effects with it. It was basically, we started off doing motion graphic tools, very After Effects centric. There was also Tsunami, which was for generating realistic water, and this is all back 2001, 2002, 2003. We did the first kind of script product that I think, 3D Assistants, which was, as far as I knew, the first script-based plugin, because up to that point they were all just C++ things, and this was using the keyframe assistant API in After Effects. Before now there's scripts for like everything, but back in 2003 there was not. And then in 2008, I guess, we sold most of the video stuff off to Red Giant. So a lot of those products still exist as Red Giant products. And then we did Photoshop things for a while, and that didn't go so well. So we went back to doing video things, and that's gone great. So here we are.
So tell us what you're working on now.
Yeah, so the most recent product is Transcriptive, which is a panel that's integrated into Premiere and allows you to pull in AI transcripts. We've just added the ability to get human transcripts in. Because it's integrated into Premiere, there's a lot of interoperability with other aspects of Premiere. Every word has time code, so every word is clickable, can open up sequences. The clips right in the source panel within Premiere. So it's just really nicely integrated. We just launched transcriptive.com, which is a web-based version of it. So again, if editor wants to have a producer or client or assistant editor edit the transcript, clean it up or whatever, add comments, they can send it to somebody that does not have Premiere, so they can do all the editing, the commenting, all the other stuff within a web browser, and then send it back to the editor in Premiere.
So this is text editing? The editing of the text or the editing of the media?
It could be either or. I mean, it's mostly, right now it's mainly the text, but pretty soon we'll have the ability to pull that into Premiere and create an assembly based on whatever the either a paper cut or whatever they do in the web browser. So just lots of different ways of working with text within a video editing environment. So we're showing that off a lot. And then also we're releasing a new version of Flicker Free, which is our great plugin for doing deflickering, and we're optimizing that for GPUs. So the big complaint about Flicker Free is it's slow, so this should dramatically help that situation out. And those are the new things we're talking about at the show.
So who are most of your clients? Are they independent producers? Are they studios? Or
it's kind of a range.
Who do you build this for?
It's kind of a range. It's, mostly, I would say most of our clients are either freelancers or corporate video departments or, smaller studios, doc makers. But, we do sell into larger companies, Fox News, Disney, NBC, like the gamut. As with most of the, software industry for video, the sexy part is, Hollywood and feature films and broadcast television, but that really makes up, like 5% of the market. It's super
very
tiny.
Small, yeah.
And so that's the sexy bit, and that's the stuff we like to talk about. But, the reality is most of the people that are doing it are doing sales videos and stuff that's marketing content for YouTube and all that stuff. So, that's predominantly, it's a lot of people doing corporate work, commercials, that type of thing.
I don't know. I don't even know how you do all of this. Do you have software developers that work for you that are doing all this, or are you doing the coding?
I am essentially a product manager. I'm the one that kind of comes up with the ideas. I have enough understanding of the development process that I can look around, see what ideas or what interesting things are out there, and that we have the core capabilities to actually do. There's a lot of interesting things that we just don't have the core knowledge to do, but there's a lot of things that are totally in our bailiwick and works well.
I think it's pretty awesome. You've got all these great ideas. Do you also create content?
I don't.
How do you come up with these ideas, actually?
It's mostly listening to our customers and paying attention to forums and seeing what kind of problems people are running. I mean, I create some content. I mean, a little bit, but I'm not a video editor. Like I said, I started off life as a graphic designer, but I still do that for DA a little bit, but that's obviously not my main job. We're a team of 8 people at this point, so it's we have 4 people coding and 4 of us doing marketing and other related things. So.
Where's the company based out of?
We're in San Francisco.
Oh,
so we're up in the Bay Area.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're not working with software developers and coders and other marketing people? I heard a rumor that you like to go to Burning Man.
Yeah, so that's something I've been doing for 18 years. And that's still a cool, interesting place to go, despite some of the rumors you might or might not have heard.
Oh, I have a lot of friends who go, and they keep saying, you have to go, and I'm always out of the country during Burning Man. I don't know why. It just doesn't, the timing has never been right.
I definitely have a habit of going to Burning Man and then leaving for IBC 3 days later.
Oh, my gosh. Are you crazy? Jim, how do you do that?
Amsterdam, Black Rock City, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's a little bit true, but how do you get the sand off of you? I mean,
it's not too bad.
So do you actually do art installations, or are you bicycling around and looking?
I don't. I volunteered for the art department for a long time. So there's a department called the Artery, which is the department that helps all the artists build their stuff. So if you need forklifts or crane or propane or firewood or whatever, we help manage those resources for the artists. And, so I did that. I volunteered doing that for 12 years. And I also do a audio art tour for them. And so it's kind of like a docent-led art tour that you can download from the Burning Man website. You can download it before you go out there. You can listen to it on your drive up and listen to it out there if you want more information about, like, what the hell is this crazy thing that I'm looking at.
Okay, but aren't they building new things every year? So how do you do an art tour?
Well, sure, but so Burning Man funds, they spend $1 million or $2 million like funding art that people bring out there.
Right.
And so people have to apply for grants for that. And so we know, 6 to 8 months beforehand what we're going to fund, and not me, but Burning Man. And so that's what I do, the tour for the honorarium pieces, not because a lot of the stuff people just randomly bring out there, and obviously we have no idea what that's all about.
I've heard about some pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah, there's some.
Like last year, what would have been your favorite installation?
Last year was actually the second time in 18 years I missed it.
Oh, so your favorite was none. How about year 4?
I don't know what.
Or like of all time, is there like one that stands out that you looked at and you went, "Oh my God, they created this in the middle of the desert. These people are nuts."
There's so many of those. There's so many things that you're just like, because you're 2 hours past civilization. Assuming that you think Reno is civilization. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of questionable. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, so you're 2 hours past Reno in the middle of the desert. You can't just run to Home Depot to get stuff.
Exactly.
And a lot of this stuff is like major structures, right? So, you gotta bring the resources you need out there with you. It's a great community too, because a lot of times, if artists have problems, other artists will help them out, or it's like, oh hey, I need a welder, or I need whatever I need. I just had a whole bunch of 2x4s break. I need 2x4s. So it's just a really strong community that it just really helps each other out.
People trade. They trade stuff, right?
Yeah, that's one of the ethos around it, but it's a gifting culture. It's not really so much trading.
Okay.
It's really just there's no expectation of payment for the things you give.
That's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a great environment. It's just fun the way people embrace it and how that manifests. And all the art, people spend 6 months of their year building this stuff, and they just bring it out there just to do it. No one's making money off of it. It's just, I want to build this crazy, amazing thing. I want to build this 3-story wooden structure, and then I want to burn it at the end of the week. So it's fairly spectacular, the art that gets brought out there, and just realize how much work goes into that.
Yeah.
And then, just because you can.
But there's it's funny, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the parallel between what you do as a developer and Burning Man, in a way, the art that's made for Burning Man, because what you do, you're constantly having to burn it when a new technology comes in, right? So it's almost like you're starting from scratch. Yeah. That may be a silly connection, but I
would say the stronger connection is actually, me volunteering for the art department and helping other people create art. And that's what we do with Digital Anarchy. It's we create tools for artists to make their lives easier, to make it easier to do, to solve problems. So it's if you've got a shot at a wedding that you didn't realize there were LED lights behind the bride, and suddenly you've got all this flicker going on. It's that's not something you can just go reshoot.
Nope.
It's nice to be able to help people do what they do. I'm an okay photographer. I'm an okay graphic designer. I have no business being a video editor, but I can muddle my way through. But I love helping other people make better art. So it's that's definitely one of the bits behind Digital Anarchy and the products we make.
That's awesome. So why did you choose Premiere Pro as a platform for Transcriptive?
Because at the time, they were really the only platform that had an HTML interface. Mm-hmm. And so we could actually build a web app within Premiere. Mm-hmm. And that just gives us all this great, nice integration. Mm-hmm. Since then, there's, FCP has added workflow extensions, which is not exactly the same thing, but has some of the same capabilities. I think Resolve just announced they have some sort of HTML thing. So we'll look at other video editors and see if there's a way we can do what we did with Premiere in those editing programs.
It's. How do you feel about the struggle between the ongoing conversation about should I go with Avid, should I go with Premiere, should I go with Final Cut? Are you kind of tired of that conversation, or is it going to continue?
Well, I mean, that's
into the future?
conversation that's been going on for like 20 years.
However many years, I know.
Since I started in the industry, it's like people have been arguing with that, and like, they're tools, right? I mean, who cares? I mean, if you find one that you like using, they're all capable. Some do some things a little bit better than others, but just depending on exactly the type of work you do, one's maybe a little bit better, but at the end of the day, it's like whatever you learn, whatever you know well, it's like the Mac Windows argument. It's like
it's a language.
It's a language.
It's a preference.
With the Mac, all the little workarounds, all the little gotchas, and then you switch to Windows, you don't know any of that stuff, and it's like, oh my God, this is horrible.
That's true.
And it's like,
oh my God.
Maybe,
true.
but if you spend the same amount of time learning Windows that you did Mac, you'd have a similar
You'd get it.
You'd get it. Which is not to say Windows is better than Mac. They're both great.
It's just different.
We develop for both of them. They're both fabulous. I love them and I hate them at the same time. So,
so you're here at NAB. Have you had a chance to walk around, or is there any news
this
that
is
you find?
This is the first time I've gotten out of South Hall.
Oh wow!
And out of beyond just the walk from the entrance to my booth.
So what's happening over at South Hall? Well, you've been in the booth, so we don't know
in the
yet.
booth. Don't ask me. I don't know. There's.
Yeah. Are you going to Faster Together tonight?
I am not. I will. Well, I might stop by briefly, but.
I think it's going to be a historical evening. After 18 years of the Super Meet, now Faster Together, it's kind of a new incarnation. And Michael Horton is still hosting, so.
Yeah, it's kind of a LumaForge marketing event, though.
You think? Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
That's how, like Super Meet.
We love LumaForge
Super Meet was
too.
like this great, like coming together of a bunch of user groups,
right.
And it was like just this great community event. And it just feels like that's shifted into just like LumaForge.
You know what, though? I'm really grateful to them for carrying the torch, because for so many years, Super Meet was so important to all of us.
Yeah.
We're a community, and that's what this show's supposed to be about. The community and creativity and the marriage of what you do and your creative side with the people like me who are using it.
Yeah.
Had I not had Beauty Box in those interstitial for Nat Geo days in the middle of trying to get a 1-hour network show delivered. I know it sounds like a small thing to you, but I'm not a full-time editor.
Yeah.
And it helped me. The thing that you did with that software helped me get through making people look good when some of the interviews weren't necessarily filmed all that well.
Well, that's the great thing about Beauty Box is that most people don't look good under video lighting at 4K on an 80-inch screen.
We were talking about that with Todd Fisher this morning. There's a big difference between the old glass and this new digital. But you have to move forward, do something new.
Yeah. But it causes a lot of skin imperfections to pop out that you just don't see in real life. It's like. Like when you're passively viewing a television thing, you're like, you have the mental ability to like stare at the screen and go like, oh my God, that looks horrible. But really, like when you're having a conversation, it's like you're not staring at my face like analyzing my pore structure. You're hopefully listening to what I'm saying,
absolutely,
and thinking about what you're going to say, and all that. And it's like you just don't. There's just a natural filter I think we have when we're talking to people that just isn't there when you see something on the screen.
Yeah.
Especially under bright video lights in
absolutely.
4K on a 70-inch screen. So Beauty Box,
it came in handy.
it comes in handy.
Thank you.
Especially as these resolutions keep going up, and we're like, keep doing it.
Yeah,
8K,
keep
16K,
doing it.
Right on.
Wow. So Transcriptive and Flicker free and Beauty Box and Samurai Sharpen and all this other stuff. This is great. You've been doing really good work. Thank you for taking the time to walk over here. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see you.
Thanks for getting me out of South Hall. That was
great. There
you
go. You're welcome anytime.
Yep.
So this is Cirina Catania with OWC RADiO Creative Club. I'm here at NAB 2019 with Jim Tierney of Digital Anarchy. Thank you for your time. And remember what I always tell you guys, get up off your chair and go do something wonderful today. Bye.
Thanks, Cirina.
Thank you.